Hi everyone, this is Mr. Castro speaking and I'm recording this video for my English 11 students. So today's objective is, by the end of this lesson, I will be able to demonstrate comprehension of what an author is saying as evidenced by paraphrasing a passage. So today you are going to focus on learning how to effectively paraphrase a passage. That way, by paraphrasing something, you are demonstrating comprehension of the text, because without understanding a text, you can't really paraphrase it. So here's a definition of paraphrase, which you want to write down in your notes. You will want to understand what it means to paraphrase and how to paraphrase, not only for today's lesson, but for future assignments. So the definition of paraphrase is a rewriting of a specific passage from someone else. It is written in your own words without changing the original meaning or removing any information. Once again, make sure to write this down in your notes because you will need to understand what it means to paraphrase for today's assignment and also for future assignments. So here are the 5 steps to paraphrasing, which you also want to write down in your notes. The first step to effective paraphrasing is to read the passage several times. When you are paraphrasing a text, you want to make sure you fully understand the text. If there are certain parts of the text that you aren't understanding, make sure to read it more than once. And if there are particular words that you are not understanding, you want to make sure you look up the definition. Step number 2 is to identify the main idea. You want to be able to do this for each paragraph or section of the text. Step 3 is to highlight or underline all key concepts, meaning all important details. So after you identify the main idea of a paragraph or section, you want to highlight or underline all the key concepts for that section. After accomplishing step 3, you want to start writing your own version of the text. So once you start paraphrasing, you want to start with the main idea written in your own words, and then continue with the key concepts also in your own words. Once you finish paraphrasing, for step 5, you want to compare your paraphrased version with the original text. If you find that the phrases are too similar between the 2 versions, you want to make changes. If necessary, use a thesaurus to replace words with synonyms. Step 2 of paraphrasing is to identify the main idea. So we are going to take a short moment to watch this video to understand how to identify the main idea of a paragraph or section. So in this example that we just watched, the topic of that paragraph was sports. the main idea, or what the author wants the audience to understand about that topic, is that sports can be dangerous. That's the main idea of that paragraph. So if we were to paraphrase that paragraph, we would start with the main idea, which is that sports can be dangerous, and then we would add on to our paraphrased version by adding the details, the key concepts from that paragraph in our own words. So a paragraph, we would paraphrase that by writing another paragraph with the same information but in our own words, starting with the main idea. So let's go ahead, and we are going to start working on the classwork assignment. No need to take notes, just pay attention, and then after we get started on the assignment, it will be posted on Google Classroom for you to finish. Okay, so this is the classwork assignment for today. We are going to practice paraphrasing this excerpt from the article, 7 Ways Meditation Can Actually Change the Brain by Alice G. Walton, February 9th, 2015. So we'll do the first 2 paragraphs together. And then for your classwork, you will paraphrase paragraphs 3, 4, and 5. When you go into Google Classroom, you will have paragraphs 1 and 2 already completed for you as an example. But I will explain right now how to paraphrase and how I got those answers that are in your example. After you complete the paraphrasing, you will have an extra credit opportunity at the bottom. So part 2 is extra credit. If you wish to earn the extra credit, you simply have to follow the 10-minute meditation guide on YouTube and then write a short reflection about your experience. Let's go ahead and start from the top, paragraph 1. So as I read paragraph 1 aloud, let's see if you can figure out the main idea. So what you want to think about as I read paragraph 1 is the main idea of this paragraph. So paragraph 1. The meditation and the brain research has been rolling in steadily for a number of years now, with new studies coming out just about every week to illustrate some new benefit of meditation. The practice appears to have an amazing variety of neurological benefits, from changes in gray matter volume to reduced activity in the me centers of the brain to enhanced connectivity between brain regions. Below are some of the most exciting studies to come out in the last few years and show that meditation really does produce measurable changes in our most important organ. Psychological effects have also been illustrated with studies reporting that meditation helps relieve our subjective levels of anxiety and depression and improve attention, concentration, and overall psychological well-being. So if you take a moment to think about the topic for paragraph 1, it's clearly about meditation. The main idea, or what the author wants the audience to understand about meditation, is that meditation causes changes to the brain, including positive changes. So let's go ahead and write that down as the main idea sentence. Meditation has been shown to cause changes and benefits to the brain. So we completed steps. We completed step 1. We read the passage. If you had trouble understanding it, you would read it more than once. Step 2, we identify the main idea. Now for step 3, you want to highlight or underline the key concepts of this paragraph. So looking at paragraph 1, one key concept is that new studies are constantly coming out to show that meditation is beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Another key detail is that meditation has neurological benefits, such as changes in the gray matter volume. of the brain. So I'll go ahead and highlight that. And I'll highlight that a different color because that's a different key detail. So each key detail you want to highlight as a different color. That way you're differentiating between each detail in the paragraph. I'm also seeing another key detail at the bottom about how meditation affects you psychologically when it comes to anxiety, depression, attention, concentration, and overall psychological well-being. So I'll also highlight that. Okay. So now for step 4, we want to write our own version of the text, starting with the main idea and then continuing with the key concepts. So for step 1, or for sentence 1, we already have that written down. Meditation has been shown to cause changes and benefits to the brain. Next, we want to write, or we want to paraphrase what's in yellow. So the idea from what's in yellow is, in our own words, is new discoveries about the benefits of meditation continue to be made. Now we want to focus on what's in blue. Meditation, so in our own words, we're explaining the main idea. Meditation has been shown to physically alter the brain, especially or not especially, but such as through changes, such as through changes in gray matter volume. Lastly, we want to paraphrase what is in green, and that's about the impact of meditation on mental health. So furthermore, meditation has been connected to better mental health by reducing, instead of reducing, a better word would it be by alleviating symptoms of mental health illnesses and improving focus. So I'm using the word focus instead of concentration or attention. Okay, so now we are finished with that first paragraph. So just to summarize, we read paragraph 1, and then we identified the main idea, which is the first sentence of our paraphrasing. Then we highlighted some key details of the text, and then we added that to our paraphrasing. And lastly, we want to look at the 2 paragraphs side by side. If you look at it, they're different, right? But they're communicating the exact same ideas. So this is what you want to do when you paraphrase. So let's start one more time with paragraph 2. So step 1, we want to read the paragraph, and then step 2, we want to determine the main idea. So let's go ahead and read it. A review study last year, Johns Hopkins looked at the relationship between mindfulness meditation and its ability to reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and pain. Researcher Madhav Goyal and his team found that the effect size of meditation was moderate at 0.3. If this sounds low, keep in mind that the effect size for antidepressants is also 0.3, which makes the effect of meditation sound pretty good. Meditation is, after all, an active form of brain training. A lot of people have this idea that meditation means sitting down and doing nothing, says Goyal, but that's not true. Meditation is an active training of the mind to increase awareness, and different meditation programs approach this in different ways. Meditation isn't a magic bullet for depression, as no treatment is, but it's one of the tools that may help manage symptoms. So this paragraph is also about meditation, but more specifically, it is about how meditation can help when it comes to symptoms of depression. So we want to write that down in our main idea sentence. So similar to antidepressants, meditation can help relieve symptoms of depression. Now we want to highlight the key concepts of this paragraph. So one key concept is a review study at Johns Hopkins, which is a prestigious university. They are particularly known for their medical school. A study from that university has shown a connection or relationship between meditation and its ability to reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and pain. So we'll highlight that as our first key detail. Another key detail is that according to the study, they discovered that it had a similar effect, meditation had a similar effect in alleviating depression as antidepressants. So we're going to go ahead and highlight that key detail. We're also seeing another key detail from researcher Madhav Goyal that meditation, there's this misconception that meditation is when you're sitting down and doing nothing, but it's not. You're actually doing something. You're actually being mentally aware of what's going on when you meditate. So I'll go ahead and highlight that as well. And one more key detail I'm noticing is this very last detail. The meditation isn't a magic bullet, meaning it's not necessarily a cure for depression, but it's something that can help. So we'll go ahead and highlight that as well. So let's go ahead and add these 4 ideas into our paraphrasing. If you're wondering how many key details you need to find in your paragraph or passage that you're paraphrasing, it just really depends on the length of the text. You want to make sure that all the important details, as many important details are necessary. But for most paragraphs of this length, in paragraphs 1 and 2, it's about 3 or 4 key details. That's how much you'll need. So let's go ahead and add these details to our paraphrasing. So what's in yellow? In our own words, we can start with researchers from Johns Hopkins. We can use the word analyze instead of looked at because we want to change it into our own words. So analyze the connection. So I'm using the word connection instead of relationship. So they analyze the connection between meditation and alleviation of mental illness symptoms. So that's what's in yellow that we just paraphrased. If you look at these 2 sentences side by side, the 2 yellow sentences, you'll notice that they're communicating the same idea but in different words. Now we'll do the same thing for the blue sentence. And according to what's stated in the blue sentence, meditation has a similar effect on depression as antidepressants. So according to Madhav Goyal, a researcher from the study, meditation was found to have a similar effect as antidepressants on alleviating depression symptoms. And lastly, or not lastly, but to continue, we want to move on to the green sentence. That sentence was about how there's this misconception about meditation. People have this wrong idea that you're sitting down and doing nothing, but that's not really meditation. So Goyo explains that there's a misconception. Misconception simply means wrong idea. There's a misconception. I'm not sure it's being highlighted. Explains that there's a misconception about meditation. Meditation involves active we'll say active use of the mind, not passivity, not passiveness, meaning like you're sitting there and doing nothing. And then lastly, we are going to paraphrase what's in orange. So when the author states meditation isn't a magic bullet for depression, he means that it's not a cure for depression. But he goes on to say that it can help manage symptoms. So while meditation may not cure depression, it can be used as a resource to help as a resource to help relieve symptoms. And now we are done with our paraphrasing for paragraph 2. Okay, so we followed the exact same steps that we followed for paragraph 1. We read the paragraph. We identified the main idea that became the first sentence of our paraphrasing. And then we highlighted all the key concepts. Lastly, we paraphrase each key concept on the right-hand side. Now, if you compare the two paragraphs side by side, you'll notice that it's primarily in your own words. There are some words that you can't really change, like John Hopkins. I wouldn't change the word meditation, just because if you try changing the word meditation to something else, people might get the wrong idea of what you're trying to communicate. So meditation makes it very clear. But otherwise, in most cases, most of these words have been changed. So for your classwork, what you want to do is log into Google Classroom, open up this assignment. You'll finish paraphrasing paragraphs 3, 4, and 5, following the exact same process that we followed in paragraphs 1 and 2. Once you are finished paraphrasing your the rest of the text, for extra credit, if you wish, you may complete this last part. To earn extra credit, you simply have to follow the 10-minute meditation on YouTube and write a short reflection of your experience. Once you are finished, submit this assignment through Google Classroom. And if you have any questions at all and you need any help completing this assignment, feel free to email me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, email me. Have a great day.